Right now, somewhere across the globe, a woman is revealing exactly how she feels about a man. Not through words, not through a message on her phone, but through four specific parts of her body she instinctively displays when attraction takes hold. And here's the unsettling truth: most men never notice, they overlook it entirely. By the time they finally understand, she's already moved on. But that doesn't have to be you. Not after this. What you're about to learn will permanently change how you interpret every interaction you have with a woman. Research published in Evolution and Human Behavior shows that women primarily express romantic interest through nonverbal cues, and they do it repeatedly, often around 13 times before the average man even begins to pick up on it. 13. That's not subtle, it's practically a broadcast. The problem is, most men haven't been taught how to read the signal. And I'll be upfront with you. I'm a woman, and I've done everything I'm about to describe. Most women have. The difference is, we're not always aware we're doing it. That's what makes these signals so powerful. They're not planned, they're not rehearsed. They're instinctive biological reactions that happen when attraction kicks in, often before conscious thought catches up. In this breakdown, I'm going to walk you through four body areas women naturally highlight or expose when they feel drawn to someone. The final one will completely shift how you see interactions. You won't be able to ignore it again. But first, understand this: the human body is terrible at hiding the truth. Research on communication shows that only a small fraction of emotional expression comes from words. Tone carries more weight, and body language dominates the message. In other words, more than half of what she's communicating has nothing to do with what she's saying. She could be talking about something completely ordinary, but her body may be telling an entirely different story. Once you know what to look for, you'll start catching those signals every time. Let's begin with the first, and arguably the most revealing cue: the neck. This isn't just about visibility, it's about a very specific behavior. When a woman tilts her head during conversation, brushes her hair aside, or touches her neck in a way that exposes it, she's displaying one of the most instinctive attraction signals in human behavior. Why does it matter? The neck is one of the most vulnerable areas of the body. From an evolutionary perspective, exposing it signals trust. It's a subconscious way of saying, I feel safe with you. It's openness, not weakness, but receptivity. There's another layer to this. The neck is also associated with scent projection. When she touches or draws attention to that area, she may be unconsciously enhancing her presence in a way that's rooted in biology. From personal experience, I've caught myself doing this without realizing it, adjusting my hair, touching my neck while speaking to someone I found attractive. It wasn't intentional, it just happened. The key here is repetition. Once might mean nothing, twice could be coincidence, but repeated gestures in a short span, that's meaningful. Now let's move to the second signal, one many men completely overlook: the inner wrists. It may sound oddly specific, but it's incredibly telling. When a woman subtly exposes her wrists, resting her hand with the palm upward, gesturing openly, or positioning her hands in a relaxed, upward facing way, she's displaying vulnerability and openness. Think about the opposite. When people feel uncomfortable, they close off, arms crossed, fists clenched, wrists hidden. But when attraction is present, the body does the reverse. It opens up. The inner wrist is sensitive and unguarded, making it another subconscious signal of trust. Over time, as attraction builds, these open gestures tend to increase. There's even a practical side to it. Just like the neck, the wrists are commonly associated with scent and subtle presence. Without realizing it, her body may be amplifying that connection. A friend once described a moment after a date where she noticed in a photo that both her palms were facing upward across the table, completely open. She hadn't been aware of it at the time, but looking back, it was obvious her body had already made its decision. Next comes the third signal, and it's one that's often misunderstood: the legs. This isn't about appearance or clothing, it's about direction and movement. Where her legs and feet point matters more than most people think. Unlike facial expressions, which people learn to control, leg positioning is far more honest. If her feet are consistently angled toward you, that's a strong subconscious indicator of interest. Even in a group setting, this holds true. Her attention might appear divided, but her lower body often reveals where her focus really is. There's also the way she crosses her legs. If the top leg angles toward you, it suggests openness and engagement. If it angles away, it can create distance, both physically and psychologically. Another subtle sign is movement. Slight restlessness, shifting weight, gentle bouncing, repositioning can reflect internal energy rather than boredom. It's often tied to heightened emotional or physiological engagement. And then there's a more deliberate but still often unconscious behavior, slow leg crossing and uncrossing. This draws attention and signals awareness of presence, even if it's not consciously intended. Finally, we arrive at the fourth and most powerful signal, the torso. This is about orientation. When a woman faces you directly, fully, without angling away, it's one of the clearest indicators of interest and comfort. The front of the body houses vital organs, making it the most vulnerable area. Naturally, people protect it when they feel uneasy. So when someone turns it fully toward you, it reflects a strong sense of safety and engagement. If she's angled away, partially turned, or using her shoulder as a barrier, there's distance. But when her torso is aligned with you, it's a different message entirely. Often, this is paired with small gestures, adjusting clothing, leaning in slightly, or positioning herself closer. These are known as displays of openness, and they reinforce what her body is already communicating. I once noticed this in a group setting. Everyone stood casually angled toward one another, but I was completely squared toward one person without even realizing it. My attention had locked in, even though I was speaking to someone else. That's the power of this signal. It bypasses conscious thought entirely. Now, here's what ties everything together. These signals rarely appear alone. When attraction is genuine, they tend to cluster. The neck, the wrists, the legs, the torso, they align. The more of these you observe at once, the stronger the indication. What's fascinating is that none of these behaviors are dramatic. They're subtle, easy to miss, but they're consistent and they carry meaning. Every small gesture, every shift, every touch is part of a deeply rooted system of communication that predates language itself. Now you know what to look for. The next time you're in a conversation and you notice these patterns, her head tilting, her wrists opening, her legs oriented toward you, her body fully facing yours, you'll understand something that may not even be clear to her yet. She's interested. The real question is, what will you do with that awareness?